Addictions, they'll suck the life out of your existence. In many cases, they'll end your existence. To live life to the fullest, you've got to choose what to love. Hey, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. You're always welcome here. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today touches your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and also share this with a friend. Well, what comes next may seem like a strange way to begin a devotional aimed at building up your faith in Christ. Crack cocaine. It's one of the most addictive recreational drugs. Also, one of the most abused, with more than 40 million people just in the United States using crack. Of course, marijuana takes the #1 spot for illegal drug use. There's as many as 269 million people worldwide abusing themselves with it. Did you know 1 in 4 internet searches are related to pornography? And more than 1/3 of all internet downloads are downloading porn. Some of the strangest addictions people admit to are eating dirt, chalk, laundry detergent, or even glass. Some people are addicted to drinking blood or urine. I've actually read many worse addictions, but they're too disgusting to add in here. But what's the first step to escaping the control of things that will destroy us, those we value most? Well, today's verse warns us clearly, do not love the world or anything in the world. Of course, this applies to much more than addictions. I simply use addictions to illustrate the problem. We can easily allow our lives to get focused on the things, on wrongful things, things that initially attract us, then control us, and eventually destroy us. You know, I find it interesting that the Bible structures its warning in the context of love. Do not love the world. Now, the world here is an image of things that are opposed to the love of God. Secular things that can suck up your time and your money, things that pull you away from relationships you ought to be investing in. The lesson is what we love will control us. So we need to choose carefully and well. Do not love the world. You know, one of the young men I mentored once told me how he approached controlling his life well. He said, I don't taste what I don't want to crave. There are many things it's probably better never to taste. Sin has an addictive quality that far outstrips crack cocaine. Choosing the things you love is an exercise in wisdom. Recognizing that you have to make choices that'll affect your life. That's a mark of maturity. Your choices, both the ones you make and the ones you refuse to make, will have an impact on your life. You know, some time ago, I had a discussion about making choices with one of my grandsons. I drew a rough outline of the map of the United States, with Florida in the lower right-hand portion and New York up at the top, and California all the way over to the left. I asked him to assume he was in a car driving west towards California. Since the car was moving, he'd eventually get to the West Coast. And if that's where he desires to go, he's doing well. But if he actually wants to go to New York, he needs to make a decision and calculate a different route, because there's no way he can get to New York by driving to California. He can hope it'll happen. He can dream about what New York will be like. He can even imagine himself standing there. Except the road he's actually on will not take him there. Actually getting there will require different and deliberate choices. Choosing is a function of living. You may not be able to make every choice you wish, but there's always choices you can make that'll bring you closer to where you actually want to end up. You can choose to love God and begin to ask Him to control you and your desires and your drives. He tells us to love him with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. If you've not already done so, making a choice to love God, then to live out that love with deliberate purpose, that'll change the road you're on. A choice for one thing is often automatically a choice against another. Deciding to love God and the things he loves, that's going to draw you away from the world. His love will draw you into things that will actually enhance you, your life, and your relationships. Loving God will build you up. Loving God will break life-controlling addictions. Hey, you're traveling on the road of life, my friend. It's not a road that'll bring you to an earthly destination. You are on the road. You are moving in a certain direction, and sooner or later, the end of that road will come. There's a road that leads you to God, to joy, and to his presence. And you only get on that road by making a specific choice. If the road to heaven's not the road you're on right now, you need to make a decision and calculate a different route, because there is no way you can get to heaven by driving on the road to hell. You can hope it'll happen. You can dream about heaven and what it'll be like. You can even imagine yourself standing there, except the road you're actually on right now will not take you there. Truly getting there will require different and deliberate choices. Hey, can I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better? Do me a favor, please like this video, because that really does help more people see it. Then click follow or subscribe so you and I can get together every day. And one more thing, share this video with a friend, would you please? Because as you do, that makes you part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.